Because the fact that you were the first one in the world to do that, it was noticed, and it was a very tough mission was noticed, and then the rest of the world talked about how they stopped whatever they were doing to watch the launch. So many people. So that means there was enough interest, and when it happened successfully, the whole thing skyrocketed. No pun intended, but.
Another narrative that changed, which is very important, is we were doing space for applications driven. We do agriculture, climate, weather services, and cartographic services. We were not into science and exploration. You can see that Sarabhai always talked about we have no intention of doing all those fanciful things. Our purpose is to serve the public, etc. This narrative also slightly changed. You can see going to moon is not seen as a bad thing today. So
Aditya is of course.
See, it was the narrative in the beginning. So it's very important to change the narrative. When you have accomplished certain things, now we know how to do the agriculture, we know how to handle remote sensing and how to handle the weather forecast. Cyclone warnings are very accurate today. The weather forecast has become much better than in our maybe 20-30 years back. And the services that we do to various sectors, like in water, land, resources, mapping, everything is really good. It's only a question of our ministers using it or not, that's another question. But now with the very small money, you are embarking on science missions, like the moon mission, the Aditya, etc. The money itself is maybe less than 10% of the overall budget. So with lesser money, we are making a big impact. So this is also seen by government as a very positive thing. So they wanted to expand that side also. That's why there was recent announcement that we should build space station. We should go and land on the moon. Otherwise, it was not the way we were looking at the whole domain really. We said that we must build satellites for fishermen, we should build it for agriculture, we should build it for this and that. But we should continue to do that. But while we do that, we should also do this. The science and exploration are equally important. When a nation when you say that it's going to be the third largest economy, how can we ignore that side of the space? So these are the changes.
Looking at the space industry 2047.
So space industry.
Because it was Modi is saying.
See, space industry is a question of historical importance, because the way the space industry in Europe or America, they started as a machinery for war. They started building missiles first. And there were no rockets to launch satellites in the beginning. And it came just after the Second World War. There were only missiles. And the technology was available there, and the missiles became the rockets. And then rockets started putting satellites. Satellites started doing images and other applications. So the capacity developed with the missiles to satellites and applications. In India, it was in the reverse direction. There were no rockets or anything. We started with applications. So we started bringing satellites hired from US, and we brought satellites from Russia, and the images were brought and image analysis was done. And applications started percolating first. Then we built satellites and went to Russia and launched them, Aryabhatta and Bhaskara. We still had no rockets. The rockets were built much later, and missiles were built last. So the progress of the technology in the West and India was just in the reverse direction. This is again explains the way in which our industries are there. There is no industries to build any of this in India, even today. Whereas if you go in US, you want to build a new rocket, you can call Lockheed Martin, McLaren Douglas, Blue Origin, or even SpaceX. You build a rocket, they will build it for the government. There are enough technology and industry to do it. But in India, to whom you should go? So the first goal is to create such industries in India. We must create capability in industries to build end-to-end solutions to space. People who are capable of building innovative satellites, people who are capable to build rockets, we want them.
Yes.
So this is the goal. By 2047, we must have a very flourishing space-based industry in India. Second is, our manufacturing is reasonably of low-cost nature. So there is a lot of offset manufacturing happening in India in space and aerospace. So we have to upgrade this so as to become a manufacturing hub for space sector, a low-cost manufacturing place like IT revolution. We must be creating an aerospace manufacturing revolution. This is another goal that we have. This is also happening slowly. You can see in Bangalore the aerospace activity around the airport.
Yeah.
There are so many export-based companies.
Airbus
Airbus is there, and many others are there. They are doing lot of manufacturing of these parts. Export is really picking up in this sector, both in defense equipments and aerospace equipments.